Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Syafiq bin Nadzri. I am from Group 4 and today I will be presenting Chapter 4 Professional Ethics Code of Conduct. As for my part, I will be explaining about the introduction, subtopic 4.1 and subtopic 4.2. So, let's begin the presentation. First of all, I would like to explain what is ethic. According to Oxford Dictionary, ethic means a set of moral principles, especially ones relating to or affirming a specific group, field, or form of conduct. Ethics is moral value of a person that shows how good the person is in his way of life. Ethic can be set as a guideline for a certain person either in work or personal life. As an ethic person, one must obey the rule of set to achieve his goal in becoming a good person and must be consistent in making good to his or herself, religion and nation. Next we move to morality. Morality is a standard of conduct that apply to everyone rather than to only members of special group. It believes about what is right and what is wrong behavior. Morality allows us where to draw lines and highlight to us the lines we should never cross. So for the example, the first one is do not cheat, always respect each other. And to make it more clearer, I choose policemen as the example. Policemen who are the people that protect us from crime. If they committed a crime, we can conclude that as an immoral behavior because they are associated to prevent the crime, not to commit it. I'm sure most of us cannot differentiate what is ethic and morality. So for that, I prepared a video to explain what the difference between ethic and morality. So let's enjoy the show.
Panic. Your friend sprints towards your house in a frenzy. He pounds on your door like a gavel. Alarmed, you pause watching Mr. Cognito to investigate the disruption, knowing it's not Girl Scouts selling cookies. As you open the door, your friend tells you in short breaths that a madman has come to kill him. He asks if you can allow him shelter inside your house. You allow him entry and slam the door shut. For defense, you grab some old baseball bats from the garage and you hide near the front door in preparation. All of a sudden, a thunderous boom invades your eardrum. Impatiently, the bearer of the noise kicks down the door like an ape on steroids. Seeing his gun pointed at your delicate figure, you drop both the bat and your urine. In a booming yet scattered voice, he demands to know the whereabouts of your friend. Knowing that he's in your house, you lie and tell him he's at his own house. The madman leaves and makes his way towards your friend's house. You hear 3 gunshots and a scream that is unmistakably your friend's. Your friend is dead. Now what happened here? Not only did you lie to the murderer, your friend lied to you. Your friend only lied to you because he assumed you would tell the murderer when threatened. Did you make the right choice? Ethics would say no, but morality might say yes. What exactly is the difference between the two? People claim this and that to be immoral, but do they really know what they're talking about? If in a community of 10 people, 9 believe stealing is bad and 1 believes it's no biggie, is stealing moral, immoral, ethical, or unethical? For the community as a whole, it's been democratically decided that it is unethical. It goes against the philosophies of the group as a whole. On the individual level, stealing is acceptable to one fraction and not acceptable to another. In other words, it's moral to one group and immoral to another. To put that into context, someone might say recreational cannabis is immoral, but it's only immoral to them. Whether it's ethical or not depends on the jurisdiction. In Canada or the Netherlands, it would be ethical, while in Singapore, it could warrant up to 10 years in prison, being beaten with a cane, and up to $20,000 in fines. That would make it unethical. A community could be a country, a culture, a professional body, or a religious group. Shared values among these groups constitutes ethics. Doctors have an ethical responsibility to ensure the best interests of their patients, or to do no harm. Cultures and countries have different values when it comes to things like gender roles, marriage, drugs, crime, and punishment, like Sharia law or the US Constitution. Religious groups have ethical beliefs about marriage, drugs, technology, and what's necessary to fulfill that religion's doctrine. Back to the problem at the beginning of the video. You lying to the murderer and your friend lying to you would be unethical, as we as a society have established lying to be wrong. However, on the moral front, it depends on the person. Some may believe they have a higher responsibility over telling the truth, making lying moral to them. For those who differ, it would be immoral. Say a friend tells you in confidence that they're having relationship issues. Obviously, it's your ethical duty to keep it a secret. What if instead, the friend told you, again in confidence, that they were contemplating committing suicide? What would you do then? Ethically, you wouldn't want to break their trust. Morally, different people have different ideas. Would you break their trust because you feel morally obligated to save them? That's another conflict between ethics and morals. Basically, morals are subjective and based on the individual, while ethics are more objective and based on values established by a community. From now on, I hope you're no longer confused about these two separate but connected concepts. And until next time, thanks for watching.
So I hope you guys can have a better understanding after watching this video. Next, we move to professional ethic. Professional ethic refer to those special morally permissible standard of conduct that ideally every member of a profession wants every other member to follow, even if that means having to do the same. It applies to members of group because they are the members of that group. Every profession ethics applies to that career. Example, engineering ethics applies to engineer, medical ethics applies to doctor, and business ethics applies to businessman. Engineering ethics is as much a part of what engineers in a particular knows as factor of safety, testing procedures, or ways to design for reliability, durability, or economy. Engineering ethics is part of thinking like an engineer. Further discussion about engineering ethics will be presented in subtopic 4.3. So I also prepared a video for this topic, so let's watch it.
Elena is a project lead at a large corporation and is paid hourly. One day, Elena's boss tells her she needs to only charge a certain number of hours for completing some project tasks, even though, due to the complexity and creativity involved in producing the work, oftentimes the tasks take longer. Elena sees most of her coworkers complying with this direction, so Elena only charges a certain number of hours, even if it takes her longer to complete the tasks. After a while, Elena's boss tells her that she needs to do an even larger amount of off-the-clock work. Elena refuses. Elena's boss tells her that if she doesn't comply with his demand, he will report to their supervisor that she had made a mistake. But Elena knew she didn't make a mistake. Elena thought long and hard. She decided that her time was valuable, and she had the right to be paid for her work. Elena decided that she needed to tell her supervisor that her boss was telling her to work off the clock. Soon after Elena's boss and supervisor discussed Elena's accusations, Elena noticed that she was no longer selected to lead projects anymore, and she wasn't being assigned much work either. Then, Elena's boss reported that Elena had made a big mistake, and Elena's boss and supervisor said that if Elena didn't stop making mistakes, she couldn't work there anymore. But Elena knew she didn't make a mistake. Elena knew she had to do something. Elena went to her HR representative and reported that she was being retaliated against. Then, Elena's supervisor and HR representative met with Elena and told her that they didn't believe her, that in fact she had made a mistake. But Elena knew she didn't make a mistake. Then, Elena was fired. But Elena knew her rights had been violated, and Elena had kept careful records. So Elena hired a lawyer and took her old boss, supervisor, and company to court. The judge determined that Elena's rights were violated, and under the law, Elena is entitled to equitable and just damages. The judge issues a stern warning to Elena's old boss, supervisor, and company to start following the law, pay their employees, and not to discriminate in the way they had against Elena ever again. Had Elena's boss, supervisor, or HR representative followed the AECT Code of Professional Ethics, they would have been able to redirect the situation and perhaps could have avoided this whole predicament. As for Elena, with the damages paid from the lawsuit, she went on with her life rather unaffectedly and got a job that was, well, way better.
Now we are done with the introduction part, so we move to subtopic 4.1, Professional Code of Practices. It is a professional code of ethics, provides your employees with a set of guidelines they can use to make good decisions in the workplace. It is a set of principles designed to help professionals distinguish right from wrong to govern their decision making. These principles outline the mission and the values of an organization, how the professionals within the organization are supposed to approach problems, and the standards to which the employees are held. It's designed to ensure employees are behaving in a manner that is socially acceptable and respectful to one another. So next we have a look for Code of Conduct of Registered Person by the BM. In exercise of powers conferred by paragraph 41F of the Registration of Engineers Act 1967 Act 138, the Board of Engineers Malaysia hereby determines the Code of Conduct of Registered Person as stated herein below. This circular supersedes Circular Number 3/2005 Guideline for Codes of Professional Conduct. This Code of Conduct is an addition to Part 4 Code of Conduct of the Registration of Engineers Regulation 1990. So, who are these registered persons? They are professional engineers with practicing certificate, professional engineers, graduate engineers, professional technologists, and inspector of work. Each of the registered person have the same code of conduct but with different elaboration. First one is not to falsify qualification. Then to certify work only he has control over supervision, supervise, witness, or inspected such work. And lastly, witness or inspected such work. Next is not to accept benefit from more than one party. So next we have a look for Code of Conduct for Graduate Engineer. Okay, first one is registered graduate engineer not to falsify qualification. And you can have a look first. Next, registered graduate engineer to certify work only he has supervised, witnessed, or inspected such work. And lastly, registered graduate engineer not to accept benefit from more than one party. This code of conduct can be found on the BM website. So I also prepared a video about the guideline for Code of Professional Conduct by the BM. So yeah, for your information, this video is made by UiTM student also. So let's have a look.
I think I'm really good and experienced in AutoCAD, but I don't have any certificate credential to support it. Should I just say I have one in my resume?
No, you shouldn't falsify your qualification.
Sir, I have already completed my design project. Will you please send out it?
Okay. Wait a minute! There's too much errors. Give me your paper.
No worries, sis. Just endorse it and I will pay you for it.
Forget it! Fahim, could you update me with the report by the end of this week? Okay?
Alright, sir. No worries.
Alright. Fahim, why you like that? Okay, y equals to mx plus c. Pressure equals to rho gh, and energy is equal to delta h minus delta u. Oh, I need to go to toilet right now. Alright. Where is my file? What happened? Okay, Fahim, from the report that I have received from last month, that our tank will be corroded. I predict that our tank will be exploded by the end of this month. Okay, I think I should find a new contract, new supplier to fix it by the end of this month. Alright?
My company's factory might gonna need a new supplier. Would you want to do it? Just give me a 10% commission and I will introduce you.
Okay, I will give you a 10% commission.
Alright.
So we also have done with the subtopic 4.1. Next, we move to the last subtopic, which is licensing and registration. It is mandatory for university graduate to register if he or she wants to take up employment as a graduate engineer. This is in accordance with section 7.2a, which specified that a graduate engineer who is registered with the board may, subject to section 8, take up employment which requires him to perform professional engineering service. A graduate engineer is a person registered under section 10(1) of Registration of Engineers Act 1967 revised 2015. According to section 7(1)(b), a graduate engineer will be entitled to describe himself or hold himself out under any name, style or title using the abbreviation grad and after his name or in any way associated with his name. So, for the requirement, section 10(1) define the qualification for registration as a graduate engineer with BM. A person who holds any qualification in engineering which is recognized by the board shall be entitled on application to be registered as a graduate engineer. The recognized academic qualification for registration as a graduate engineer with BM includes the following. The first one is engineering awarded by Malaysia. So let's take a look. Engineering degree awarded by Malaysia is an engineering degree accredited or recognized by Engineering Accreditation Council (EAC). The latest list of the accredited engineering program in Malaysia is available in EAC website at the following link. So I have extracted the list of accredited engineering program for UiTM, and especially for in Faculty of Electrical Engineering. We can have a look at the number 6, Bachelor of Engineering, Electrical Engineering. So it's recognized from 2019 and until 2022, and same goes to Bachelor of Engineering, Electronics Engineering, with the same period. So this is the latest accredited program in FKE UiTM Shah Alam. Next is the engineering awarded by other countries. So the recognition of engineering degree from overseas, means outside Malaysia, will be based on the accreditation given by a professional body who is a signatory of Washington Accord. So what is Washington Accord? Washington Accord is a multinational agreement signed in 1989 which recognizes the substantial equivalency of engineering degree programs accredited by the responsible bodies in each of the signatory countries, such as Board of Engineers Malaysia (BM). Washington Accord is an agreement among the engineering quality assurance organization of several nations that recognize the substantial equivalency of program accredited by those organizations. The agreement paved the way for mutual recognition of accredited program, established the notion that graduates have met the academic requirement for entry to the practice of engineering in any signatory country. As a Washington Accord signatory, Malaysia's degree that have been accredited by Engineering Accreditation Council (EAC) will be accepted by another Washington Accord signatories. So other than Malaysia, the Washington Accord country includes the United Kingdom and Japan. So this is the logo of the Washington Accord. And the last one is the graduate with engineering technology degree. Graduate with degree in engineering technology is eligible to register as an engineering technologist. Includes the following. First one, engineering degree awarded by Malaysia. Bachelor degree in engineering technology accredited by Board's Engineering Technology Accreditation Council (ETAC). For applicants graduating before 1st January 2017, degrees accredited by Malaysian Qualification Agency (MQA) are accepted. For applicants graduating after 1st January 2017, degrees accredited by Malaysian Qualification Agency (MQA) within the 6 years maximum from the date of accreditation prior to 1st January 2017 are accepted. Next one is the engineering degree awarded by another country. So this is an engineering technology degree accredited by a professional body who is a signatory of Sydney Accord. So Sydney Accord is following from the Washington Accord. A similar agreement was developed for engineering technologists or incorporated engineers called the Sydney Accord. In Sydney Accord, qualification accredited or recognized by another signatories are recognized by each signatory being substantially equivalent to accredited or recognized qualification for the practice of Engineering Technology at the appropriate level within the engineering team. So this is the logo of Sydney Accord, just same like the Washington Accord, but with different name. The Engineering Accreditation Council in Malaysia, we have Board of Engineers Malaysia BM, Malaysian Qualification Agency MQA, Jabatan Perkhidmatan Awam JPA, and Institute of Engineers Malaysia IEM. The Board of Engineers Malaysia has a duty to ensure that the quality of engineering education or program of its registered engineer attain the minimum standard comparable to global practice. The objective of the accreditation is to ensure that graduates of the accredited engineering program satisfy the minimum academic requirement for registration as a graduate engineer with BM and IM. Hence, the necessity to accredit engineering program conducted in the public and private university and college in Malaysia. So, maybe you guys want to know what's the difference between the Washington Accord and Sydney Accord. So, Washington Accord is first signed in 1989, while Sydney Accord first signed in 2001. Washington Accord recognized the professional engineering education program, while the Sydney Accord recognized the engineering technologies education. So, in short, Washington Accord is for professional engineering and the Sydney Accord is for engineering technology. Next is the list of professional body who are signatory of Washington Accord. So BM provides pathway for unrecognized engineering degree. Holders of unrecognized engineering degree may select one of the following options. The first one, they may proceed to master program. So master program taught course. He or she must complete a master's program coursework in the related engineering discipline. Subject to be taken in the master program must enhance the subject taken in bachelor engineering with honours. Graduate is advised to submit the following document for BM assessment prior taking up the master program. BM will advise the graduate the subject to be taken and its credit hour. So the document are as below. First one is the degree scroll, full official transcript, and the detail on the Master of Engineering such as course content, subject, duration, and others. Next, he or she must top up courses. So they must top up a few lacking subject in the university where applicant has graduated from or in any university offering recognized degree by the Engineering Accreditation Council Malaysia. Graduate is required to submit the degree scroll and full official transcript to BM for assessment prior to taking up the top-up program. BM will advise the graduate the subjects to be taken and its credit hour. Next one is the procedure for registration. So this info are extracted from the BM website. So for the application method, the application shall be made online using my BM system for both Malaysian and non-Malaysian. Before this, the applicant must fill up the form A1 and must be submitted to BM, but nowadays they're using the online system. So for the supporting document, the applicant must submit the following supporting document, and all the documents must be certified by a professional engineer recognized by BM. So the required document degree scroll and official transcript, or CAM, DCAM aircraft maintenance license, diploma scroll and official transcript, and identification card, and plus passport for non-Malaysian. So for the payment, it must be accompanied with a non-refundable processing fee for amount of 50 ringgit payable to BM. So for who's graduated from foreign university, the certified copy of the degree scroll from a foreign university which is not in English language shall be accompanied by a translation of it in English or Bahasa Malaysia. So only complete application with all supporting document will be processed and submitted to the board for approval. Upon approval, a certificate of registration as a graduate engineer will be issued. Every application for registration shall be decided by the board within 4 months from the date of receipt of such application. So once you have registered, you must declare some rule. So applicant must declare that he or she agree to abide the Registration Engineers Act 1967 revised 2015 and the Registration of Engineers Regulation 1990 revised 2015 and the notification and circulars issued by the Board of Engineers Malaysia. So they must authorize BM to seek clarification on any information submitted in any manner and by any means as it deems fit and proper. And lastly, for the penalty, if you abide the rules, you must penalize. Section 24A of the Registration of Engineers Act 1967 revised 2015, any person, sole proprietorship, partnership or body corporate who procures or attempts to procure registration or certificate of registration under this act by knowingly making or producing or causing to be made or produce any false or fraudulent declaration, certificate, application or representation, whether in writing or otherwise, shall be guilty of an offence and shall, on conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding 50,000 ringgit or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years or both. So if you break the rule, you might be fined 35,000 ringgit or you might go to prison, or maybe both of it. So that's all for subtopic 4.2, and this is the end of my presentation. Thank you. If you guys have any question, you can ask in the comment section below. Thank you and Assalamualaikum. Okay, this is the end for my presentation and the end for subtopic 4.2. Before I ended my presentation, I would like to have some question and answer session with you guys. So I prepared here 7 question and answers that I think it might be an important thing throughout my presentation. So the first one is, what is ethic? Ethic means a set of moral principles, especially ones relating to or affirming to a specific group, field or form of conduct. So it may refer to a specific group like races and religion and so on. Next is question 2, is morality. So this is the standard of conduct that apply to everyone rather than to only members of special group. So it's like every people have to do the moral thing. Next is professional ethic. Refer to those special morally permissible standard of conduct that ideally every member of profession wants every other member to follow, even that mean having to do the same. So it's like when you are in a company, so the company has set the ethic, so if you want to know, you have to follow it. Next is question 4. And who are the registered person in BM? So according to the document, the registration of act, we have 5 people, 5 category of person who are listed as the registered person in BM. The first one is professional engineer with practicing certificate. Next, professional engineer, graduate engineers, and the fourth one, professional technologist, and the last one is inspector of work. So document, they have each code of conduct they need to obey. The next one is, what is Act 138? So what Act 138 is actually the Registration of Engineers Act 1967, revised 2015. Next is question 6. What is Washington Accord? The Washington Accord is a multinational agreement signed in 1989 which recognized the substantial equivalency of engineering degree program accredited by the responsible bodies in each of the signatory countries, such as Board of Engineers Malaysia. The last one is, what are the penalty for procuring registration under Registration of Engineers Act 1967? So in this act, it stated that if someone have attempted to procure or had procured the rules, they will be fined not exceeding 50,000 ringgit or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years. Or maybe you can have both. You are paying the money and you go to prison. So before I end this presentation, I also prepare a quiz, online quiz. So you may refer to the description box below, and to make it more interesting, I prepared a gift to the highest and the fastest person in the quiz. So good luck guys, and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.